Welcome to our Thursday episodes. All of our Thursday episodes are going along with our book and the content from our book. And so it's all just real life, practical stories and ideas that we have of what to do that might help you or what not to do. We have a lot of what not to do. We're good at what not to do.
That's the best way to learn.
That's right.
Is that you're not making a mistake.
You get to learn from all of ours.
We are.
Yes.
And you get to learn from our mistakes.
So today's video is about comparison.
Yeah, but before we get going, I just want to make sure that you're subscribed. If you're watching this video, make sure you subscribe. Stop the video right now and go subscribe, then go back to the video.
Please share us.
How funny we are. We're funny. We're funny. We're extreme. We're either laughing a lot or yelling a lot. So, either laughing or yelling.
Oh, so today we're going to talk about comparison. And, you know, I think it's one of the top things that people, or mistakes that people make in marriage, in business, in raising kids. You know, there's no two kids the same. I can't parent one child the way I parent another child. We've got 4 kids. They're all totally different, every single last one of them. I can't mock somebody else's relationship to be my relationship. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So we're going to dig in. We're going to give you some real life things that have gone on in our life.
And you know, and this is, I want to say this. It's like, I don't want to brag on myself or brag on Kimberly or just brag about us. But genuinely, we are not, and this is what I like about us, I like as people, as a couple, is we're genuinely happy for people and good things that happen to people. We don't compare.
We don't feel
we're not jealous. Like we generally, like we don't really think or we don't look at people and think, I wish that we were them, or I wish we had that, or we just don't. And I feel like on this subject that we're about to talk about, is like we're good at this.
That's one of our best things.
About qualities about us, and especially as individuals, as a couple, and we really try to. I mean, and what we can recognize is that her and I are just alike in that sense. Now, our own kids, they can be jealous and they can compare. There has been situations
we reel them in.
And so we feel like we're good because we can teach them about this, because we really don't have where we compare or we're jealous of people. And I'm just
that's really good. And I think our experience in this category or subject matter has come from working with lots and lots and lots of people and seeing the struggle that they have in this area, and the struggle of comparison, and how we have not done that. And we've done a really great job of staying in our own lane and building our own life and putting our blinders on. I've always been really good at this and not looking right, not looking left. And I do think a few of the real life things that have happened even with our children, and we need to make sure we touch on this, is, and I can give you a couple of practical applications of different things that happen within our kids that we had to say, you know, you can't do that. And you don't ever know the full picture. And, you know, you've always got to look at what God's given you and what you're blessed with and stay in your own lane. So I want to tell y'all first and foremost, especially, I just feel like since social media for the last 9 years, I think I've been on Facebook for 9 years. Shay doesn't do social media. He's doing it more now that we're doing real life with the Copelands, but he never really did. He would look at Facebook from mine. But one thing, a little, yeah, it's just never really been his thing. He doesn't really care. But he's like, whatever.
I don't. So if you're on Facebook, I could care less what you were doing.
I don't mean that in that way. But here's the thing, is what I feel that I've noticed is people are constantly comparing their real life practice time, game time, before, after with somebody else's ESPN highlight reel. And that's how I've always worded it, is you cannot see somebody's full picture of what is going on in their life by watching their social media. And if people have any common sense, they're not going to put their drama out on social media. And so we sit back and we know our own struggles. We know our own problems. We know every up and down and every insecurity and every doubt and every single thing that is going on in our life. And we're sitting there scrolling and we're scrolling and we're scrolling and we're scrolling and oh, look what they're doing. And oh, they're having this amazing Valentine's dinner and I'm sitting here and my husband forgot it was Valentine's Day, and then you're scrolling some more. This was not real.
I didn't forget.
But this is how people do. And then we're scrolling and we're like, oh, they're out doing this weekend.
Look at the vacation. Look at the vacation.
Look at the vacation they're on. Look at their kids. Their kids are getting awards. My kids are barely making their grades. And so we start doing this and we start to feel bad about ourselves and our own life instead of staying in our lane. So I really want to caution you, just even in watching us, is to know that we have struggles. We have real life. And, you know, as we were tackling this subject, and really, again, I know we've mentioned this several times, how our book came to be was through attacks on our family. And we've had some real life big things come against us. And what we always know and what we've gotten very, very good at is knowing that when that comes, it's almost, I don't want to say bring it on because I don't want to encourage the devil, but I know our God is bigger than any storm. Our God is bigger than any problem. So the thing is, what I know, when people start coming against our family or are trying to do anything bad, it's like, I know we are right where we are supposed to be, and God has taken us to another place, because that's what, for me, an attack represents, that I am right where I need to be. And so that's when I really dig in. That's when I really push forward, because what I know that I know that I know, the devil wouldn't be coming at me hard if God did not have something huge, big in store for us.
So that brings me to her next point is, if you haven't watched the last video, go watch that, because it's about quitting. Because here's what happens is, as you're saying that, is that when people are in the midst of a storm and it's just awful and terrible,
they want to retreat.
A lot of times that's when they quit.
Yeah.
And so what we know is that our experiences in our life is when we're in the middle of the storm, we got to keep pushing through and not quit, because great things are on the other side of that storm.
Absolutely. And for those of y'all who do either personally know us or have followed us for a while, you know, if you watched us on social media in 2018, you would know that we had the most, absolutely, really 2017 to 18, best years we've ever had, best in our marriage, best in work-related, all around work-related. I mean, we've been in a great place, and just blessing after blessing after blessing after blessing. Our daughter has had abundance of blessings since she graduated from high school, with one huge thing happened for her after another, after another, after another. And what you won't see is all the challenges and all the attacks that came on her, that came on us, while we were having these abundance of blessings. Now, what we're good at, and what Shay and I are amazing at as a team, is not getting distracted. He's better than me, but he reels me in, is not getting distracted by the attacks. And what he constantly reminds me of every time one comes or someone else is doing something else that might be negative towards Waverly or myself or whatever the circumstance is, Kimberly, you are in God's will for your life. You've got to keep pressing forward. Don't get focused on the wrong thing.
When I think, okay, so with all of this, how do you apply it to your life?
Exactly.
I mean, what is it? What is it? I mean, I'm just
What's your takeaway?
What's your takeaway? So this is what I do. When I know that, okay, I'm about to go to battle.
Right.
When I know that we're going to war, it's not peacetime, that I've got to put my armor on.
Absolutely.
And I've got to put it on, and I got to know in my mind, okay, I'm a warrior now. I got to be a warrior, and I got to know that people are going to be attacking me, and I'm going to be okay because I have my armor on.
And so your armor is praying. I mean, for us, it's going to be praying. It's going to be staying in constant connection with each other and the Lord, and asking God to direct our steps.
Well, and I think
asking God to protect us, putting that hedge of protection around us.
All of this, all those things that Kimberly just said, is getting your mind right.
It is.
Because if you don't have all these things in place, then you can't get your mind right, and then you're just falling into a trap. And then that'll lead to quitting, retreating, and then you're just allowing the enemy to win.
Even starting this
And I'm about winning! Winning!
Even starting this channel, Shay said to me, Kimberly, are you ready for the people to start attacking? Because anytime God blesses us in something, the attacks come. So you better get in prayer. You better get in full agreement with me, because if we're going to do this, because when we're doing something we feel led to do and we feel like it's God's direction, we have attacks. And so I kind of sunk back for a minute. I said, oh, are you sure you were going to do this? But I know that I know is when you're called to great things, and I know every one of y'all that are watching you are going to have obstacles. You are going to have things that don't go your way. You are going to have people that are not for you. And you've got to get okay with that, but keep that armor on. Absolutely. Like Shay was talking about. And part of that armor, too, is getting your mind set that you are in the right place at the right time, and you're doing the right thing. And when you've got your heart in the right place, you don't have to worry about anything else, but also keeping your mind set towards whatever it is you're headed for. So if you're headed towards a great marriage, you can't be looking, oh, what's Kimberly and Shay doing, or what's this mentor of mine doing, or what is this family doing? Yes, you can learn, but you can't try to be them. And that's something that we have watched other people try to do with couples or leaders, and it just doesn't work. You've got to be you. You've got to celebrate who you are. You've got to celebrate the gifts that God gave you. Yes, we can emulate awesome people. We have leaders and mentors in our life that we want to emulate, that we want to strive to be as great as they are, but we don't strive in any way whatsoever to be them. God did not make us them. God did not give us their special, unique gift. He gave us our special, unique gift.
Well, and I think that's you need people in your life that I guess maybe you feel are better than you. And not so you can compare at what they're doing. It's that they can push you to you personally be better so that you can bring your excellence to whatever you have going on.
Because I think you want to rise higher. So it's wherever you are, you're going to cap out at the type of people that you surround yourself with and the type of influence that you put in.
Which that's another video.
That's a whole other subject that'll take us all day.
Your circle, your people.
It matters.
Yes.
It matters. So you've got to constantly be absolutely having mentors, absolutely having a model, but not looking and thinking, oh, if that was my wife, if that was my husband, if that was my gift, then I would have this success like they've had. It's what people don't understand is the price that's being paid behind the scenes it's big. And
Well,
it's,
and I think,
it's
well, and I
constant.
think that a lot of people, and I think, I mean, just talking to people and just us mentoring people, a lot of people struggle if they see someone that's doing things with a crazy amount of excellence with whatever it is that they get in their mind, well, I can't do that. So
Right.
then they just don't do anything.
Because they can't measure
Because
up.
they can't measure
And
up. Well, and that's
even
not
with the people
what it's,
that lead us,
Well-
we could never measure up to them.
no.
I mean, we can't.
No.
They're amazing. They're awesome. We love being led by them. But they are, I mean, they're way up here. We're telling you, they're way up here. So we know we've got to do our best to bring our best for who God made us.
Absolutely.
Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
And so I think that comparison game has got to stop. You've got to make a mental shift to
That's good.
stop comparing, to stop looking at who's got the better gifts or the better car, the better flowers. You know, we just came off of Valentine's week when we're making this video, and I think that is something that people constantly do. And then the jealousy, my goodness gracious. And I think some people are made with more jealousy than others. Thank you, God, and that it is one of my gifts that I'm not turned jealous. Now, here's the funny thing. I'm very jealous of women with my man. I don't.
Women.
I don't like that. You know, yeah, that's my man. So I can feel jealousy there. But and he's never done anything to make me feel jealous in that area.
Now hold on. Let me tell you a story. This is fun. So with Kimberly's work, we get to go on a trip with her work. And so the very first trip that we went on
Oh my God.
with our work, which there's a lot of people in her business that are on the trip as well. And
I
so
can't believe you're telling this story.
which we're in Australia, and we're across from the Opera House.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're across from the Opera House, and
We're taking
everyone's taking
Oh my
pictures
gosh.
and everything, and so
And
so everybody's walking and just taking pictures. And
I was in some group pictures with some other people.
and I'm just standing there and I'm just looking at everything. Well, this lady.
I look over.
This lady walks up and she's like, "Will you take my picture?"
I look over and Shay is like taking
"Sure,
pictures
sure."
of this woman with this photo shoot. She looked like. Oh my gosh, we were newly married. I'm like, what are you doing?
So, anyway, there was
It
was no big deal to me. Whatever.
I was
That's what I'm
very.
saying. She was upset.
very
I was like,
upset.
"What did I do?" She just asked me to take a picture of her.
So I do have jealousy there, but just in a comparison type of jealousy, no. And when Shay and I were very first together, one of the first instances I ever saw Walker Waverly and just really show me any type of jealousy, we were at Christmas, and his family had done tremendous amounts for our kids. And they're very over-the-top people, and they had done enormous amount for their kids. And I went into the bathroom with Walker, and he had little tears streaming down his face. He was 9 years old. And he said to me, "Mama, I know this is wrong." Like, he expressed it the minute it came out of his mouth. He said, "I feel so jealous of these other children opening up 40 gifts when we opened up 10. And I explained to him, Walker, it's okay to feel this way, but this isn't good. You need to be thankful for what you got. This isn't even our family. We're here visiting, but even if they did get more gifts from you, it's okay. And having that conversation, and that was one of the very first times I saw my children exert any kind of jealousy. And again, it wasn't, he expressed it to me and how he was feeling, and I feel like he worked through that. But that was just a real life circumstance that I think sometimes as parents, we don't keep the lines of communication open with our kids, where they're comfortable to tell us their true feelings. And I was able to coach him through that, talk him through that, where that wasn't a problem later in life. And even with our daughter, as she experienced a lot of jealousy from other people growing up, which led to just issues for her, and then people not liking her. And, you know, I'm the type, if somebody doesn't like me, I just get them blocked and deleted, and I never think one more thing. She'll tell you, I never think about them again. Like, I've moved on, it's over. And when Waverly was young, I'm talking 12, 13, 14, she would go look what people are doing, and then she'd want to come tell us. And she and I sat her down and said, when people don't like you, choose to not inform yourself of what is happening. And it's always interesting to me how many people want to watch you or see what you're doing when they don't like you. And I'm just not like that, so I don't understand that. But that was eye-opening when we coached Waverly through that, of you just need to block and delete and erase them from your mind. I guess I mean, we're good at that. It's okay if somebody doesn't like us. We don't have to know what's happening in their life. Where I think this is a struggle for people. And I just said to Waverly that day, why do you want to know what anyone is doing that does not like you, that does not care one thing about you, that wants to do something negative to you? Why do you want to go look? Does it make you feel good? And she said, well, no. So my advice would be, if you're watching, because I know adults do this, I'm talking about a situation when our daughter was young, and is really block that. Just block, delete, block, delete. Don't you agree? And I know Shay doesn't, he doesn't really like to even address this type of subject. You're just not turns.
I'm just not a jealous person whatsoever.
He gets really, really confused by anybody in our sphere or anything with jealousy.
You know,
don't you?
Yeah, I guess I don't really get it. I don't really understand.
So I think
it's just not something I comprehend.
But baby, it's alive and well, and it's something
I understand.
That's part of comparison. It's like when people are looking at other people thinking that I wish this was me. I wish this was my life.
Yeah.
That's part of that comparison game. So I just know that even where Shay and I were concerned, he rawly and really told you that story that happened early on in our marriage. And I mean, it upset me. It did. It upset me. And but I know I had to figure out why that was upsetting me and what that really was about in my own spirit. I still didn't like it today, though, I'll tell you right now. Don't ask my husband to take a photo shoot of me. It's not going to be too good. Oh, gosh. So, thinking about comparison and thinking about just how you can do a better job. What are some practical steps of not playing that comparison game? We don't want to give you too much insight, but that's kind of some of the things we cover in our book.
Well, and I think, I mean, how do you take, not necessarily, how do you take it from jealousy, which I believe is kind of a negative reaction, a negative thought, to make it
I don't feel like that's God-given.
to making it positive. So I mean, just for, you know, as I think about, and I talk about sports a lot because I can relate to, you know, when I went to college, coming out of high school, I mean, I thought I was a really great player. And then when I got to college, there were awesome players. And so I guess I could have looked at players on my team and thought, like, just been jealous and retreated and just quit, or, you know, things like that. Well, I took it as, okay, I need to work harder. I need to do better. I wasn't jealous of their ability, or I guess envious of their ability. I just like, I need to work harder, and I need to, I need to get better. So I think in your mindset is that you can take a negative emotion, a negative thought, and making it positive, where it challenges you to bring your excellence in your relationship, bring your excellence in your work. You know, because it can make you look, okay, well, I want more out of my life, and kind of change, and what it should do is, I mean, I think what you should do is be able to recognize, okay, this is kind of negative the way that I'm thinking, but okay, I need a mind shift, and I can turn this into a positive.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we've really, not where jealousy, we haven't had that, but what we have done is when we're following someone or we're allowing someone to speak into our life, because you allow who you choose to speak into your life, positive, negative, whatever it is.
Well, even if you don't allow, and I'm glad you said that, because even if you don't, let's say you're watching on someone on social media and you're getting jealous, well, you're allowing that person to speak into your life.
You are, whether you realize it or not. You may not even realize it. And so what I'm really trying to say here is who you are watching and you're letting be an influencer over you, then you've got to take whatever their level of excellence is and then say, what's my excellence? Like, your excellence isn't going to look like my excellence. And then you do you. That is the saying we have in this house. It's just do you, and do you to the best of your ability. So what Shay and I have done is look at the people that we allow to speak into our lives and let them take us to our best level and not try to be their best level, because we're never going to measure up to their best level.
Well, and as you're talking, and I'm thinking as you're talking is, and if you're a couple that are watching, and so what can happen too, and this is something that can happen, is that one spouse can be letting someone else influence their thoughts, and then they're thinking, well, my spouse is not good enough. My spouse is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. My spouse, it doesn't look like these people that I'm following or watching or listening to. Well, and which causes problems in your own relationship.
Yes, and that's what we're cautious about. And that's what we don't play the comparison game, and we don't do the I wish, or we really stay in our own lane, and that's what we want to encourage you to do.
Which I'm thinking, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to cause conflict
within yourself,
or your within
marriage,
your relationships,
or your
because you're watching someone else, because you are watching someone else's life. You don't have no clue what's going on behind the scenes, what the struggles are, what work is going in to have, if you're watching someone's marriage, the work and the struggles that are happening, that what you think is a great marriage,
and it is,
which could be, and you don't know.
Yes, and that's the thing too. Even where Shay and I are concerned, in our standards, we believe we have a great marriage, but it's not without struggles. It's not without strife. It's not without problems. But what we do is overcome them, and our problems are our problems. Somebody else might look in and say, oh my gosh, I would never want to deal the way they deal. You know?
Yeah, and what I think what we believe is that our marriage never gets to a destination.
Right.
It
Right.
never gets to where we want. I mean, we don't ever get to the sunny beach and it's over. Like we're done. We've
Right.
reached it. It's like we're always working and improving, and that's what should challenge you.
Yes.
Is that you're always working and improving, but don't base whatever it is in your life, where it's your business and your relationships with your marriage, with your relationship, whatever it is. Don't ever say, well, I've arrived, or I'm never going to be like so-and-so.
Exactly. And allow the obstacles or the things that go on around you to help you understand that that's part of it. That's part of the grind of having greatness. That's part of what goes on behind the scenes to have the good family too. You know, I've had people over the years say different things about how amazing our children are. And they are. I mean, do not get me wrong. We think we have great, amazing kids. But it came with a price. And it came with us being disciplined. It's not always easy to discipline the little bitty things. And it's not always easy to say no and make them mind. And I'm the yes girl. And Shay and I, we've been a really good team where that's concerned. But it's been in those daily moments of we don't talk that way. We say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. We respect authority. We respect adults. Hey, we eat dinner together and you don't get up from the table the minute you get done eating. All those little tiny things are what instilled in our have been instilled in our children that have made great people and have taught them honor, have taught them respect. It wasn't like they got 18 we said, okay, now you better respect the police, or you better respect us as your parents. It's been years and years and years and years of the talks, like what I told you I had with Walker or with Waverly, and Shay's had with them as well, that have led to the place of success. So what you've got to know is there is always, always, always a grind behind the success. And here's what I know, I just know this, y'all, deep down in my heart, that if you don't do the small little grinds day in, day out, they will turn to great big things where your kids aren't listening to you, where you aren't their influencer, where you can't really talk them back to what you're trying to teach them if you haven't taken the daily steps. And that's the same thing in our marriage, is we're able to get back quickly and back where we need to be because we have the grind in our relationship day in, day out. We don't let it go.
And here is, I think, here's the key, is that people, you want to think that one day the grind ends and that it's just peaceful and just nice and easy. The grind never stops.
Right.
Ever. And until you're 6 feet under is, I mean, that's just, I have learned, that's what I believe, is that if I want to be successful, if I want to have a successful marriage, if I want to be a successful person, if I want to be a successful dad, if I want to be a successful man, whatever it is, that my grind is never going to stop. I'm always going to be grinding, and I'm always going to be working to improve my excellence. And so whenever you get into the mindset, well, and I think that's where we lead to divorce. That's where we lead to being a bad parent, where you lead to being a bad person, where you get
where you don't care.
You don't want the grind. You get tired of the grind.
I don't want to raise these kids. Never mind.
And you think
the grind's hard.
You think I'll go do something else and you won't have grind. Well, that's
I'll get a new job.
You're lying. You're lying to yourself.
That's right.
You're just lying to yourself, because whatever you do in life, there's always going to be a grind. I mean, if you want to have success in whatever area it is, there's always going to be a a grind. And then once you get the mindset that you know, whatever it is, there's always going to be a grind, and there's some days you're not having to grind it out. And you enjoy that, and you celebrate that. But whatever it is, you're always going to be working and grinding and trying to make whatever it is in your life better.
Absolutely. We want to challenge you. Stop comparing.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself to us. Don't compare yourself to other people. We're an easy comparison because anybody can emulate us, right? And so
Don't compare your kids to other kids.
That's
Don't
right.
compare, and we see this a lot, because we have 4 kids. We see parents comparing their kids to our kids, or whatever it is, or how good an athlete they are or not, what kind of car they drive, what car they don't drive. Just a constant,
stay in your lane.
Just comparing.
Get control
Why?
over your thoughts.
That's the big thing.
It's just you have control over the comparison game. And it's all right here.
Between the ears.
Yes.
Between the ears.
You decide. And you decide to be your best day in, day out. And I know that God will bless that. And so just, yes, emulate. Yes, do your best to be great. But do you. And stop comparing.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. That's right.
So, don't forget, subscribe. Don't forget, tell people about how awesome the real life ones are. You'll see.
This is a hard subject for me to talk about.
You'll see Sundays or all the things that are going on with the week, and then you'll get the Tuesdays.
Yeah.
You'll get, what do we call Tuesdays?
Tuesdays are tricks on Tuesday.
Tricks on
all
Tuesday.
Kinds of tricks.
Yeah.
To keep it, see, it's a trick because I cook good, but it's real easy. Like, I do things anybody can do. See,
it's not just cooking, is it?
Cooking, it's ideas. You've got some ideas you're going to share too. It can be anything. We're going to have all kinds of tricks. So far, it's just cooking.
Yeah, so far it's just cooking.
Cooking and decorating. I'm good at those 2 things. Do you have any tricks? I don't know what your tricks are.
I've got lots of tricks. but I can't show them.
Oh, okay. Let's have a great day.
Make sure to subscribe and tell people about us.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
all right. Peace.